Welcome to machine learning tutorial. In our previous video, we have given a very basic introduction to machine learning. We have discussed what is machine learning, application of machine learning, different types of machine learning. In this video, we will discuss different types of machine learning in detail. As we have discussed in our previous video, machine learning is supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and semi-supervised learning. So let us look at supervised learning. So in supervised learning, level data or output data or supervisor data or teacher data is given in training data. Supervised learning must contain level data during training phase. Let us look at the training data. Here input I1 and I2, and this is output column. For input 1 0 and input 2 0, output is 0, and for input 1 1 and input 2 1, then output is 1. So the output is given here. This is called level data or supervisor data or teacher data. Now let us look at supervised learning algorithms. For supervised learning, there are different algorithms. For example, nearest neighbor called NN, K nearest neighbor called KNN, artificial neural network called ANN, support vector machine called SVM, decision tree DT. For example, ID3, C4.5, Apriori Algorithm, hidden Markov model called HMM, Logistic Regression, Naive Bayes Classifier. Now let us look at unsupervised learning. In unsupervised learning, only input data is given in training data. Look at the training data. Values for input I1 and input I2 is given. Here no output data is given. For testing, test data will be given. Unsupervised learning separate data into cluster. Now let us look at how this training data and testing data can be represented in a graph. In the graph, if we represent I1 in x-axis and I2 in y-axis, then the graph could be like this. In x-axis I1 and in y-axis I2. So if we represent the value in the graph, the point 0 0 will be here, 0 1 will be here, and 1 0 will be here, and 1 1 here. If we divide the data with a separator line, then we can define this data into cluster 1 and this data into cluster 2. So this separator line separates this data into clusters. Unsupervised learning algorithms are K-means clustering, modified K-means clustering, hierarchical clustering, SOM or self-organizing map, fuzzy semi clustering. Now let us look at semi-supervised learning. In semi-supervised learning, for some data, level data is given, and for some data, level data is missing. Let us look at the data table. These three are training data and this is testing data. Here for input 1 and input 2, output is given. This data also output is given, and for this data there is no level data given. So level data is missing here. As in this training data, level data is not given, we have to test this data using this level data. then we will get a data which will be updated here, and our training data will be ready. Then we can apply testing data on the training data. The testing will be applied on updated training data. Now let us see how it will work. As we have seen in the previous table, the given training data that are labeled is this. So when we run testing 1, we will use training data that are not labeled. So look at here, for 1 and 0 there is no label data, so we will use this data for test 1. So here is for 1 and 0. Let us assume the output is 0.3. Now our training data will be like this. The output data for 1 and 0 will be 0.3. So this will be used for second testing. So now we will use testing data. So according to our previous table, testing data is 0 and 1. So we will use 0 and 1. Now assume that the output is 0.2. Here a threshold will be given. If the given threshold is 0.5, we have to compare output of testing 2 with threshold value. Here, as 0.2 is less than 0.5, the output will be 0. So in this video, I have discussed about supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and semi-supervised learning. If you have any question, please write in the comment. I'll try to answer your question. If you like this video, please share with your friends and give a thumbs up. In the next video, we'll look at K-means clustering algorithm. If you want to learn more about machine learning, subscribe our channel so that you can get notification of our next video. And thank you for watching.